Hi, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Amanda, and this is the Pursuit of Badasserie, the podcast.
This podcast is all about taking action and creating that badass business abundance and life that you want.
Where we share stories, laughs, wins, and epic fails to show you the whole picture of the entrepreneurial journey.
It's not just unicorns and rainbows, people.
Jump on and follow us through this raw and witty roller coaster,
where we get down and dirty and go behind the scenes of life and entrepreneurship.
Get on it,
get over it,
and get after it.
Hey, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Amanda. Welcome to the Pursuit of Badasserie, the podcast. We are talking about the holidays in August, gangster style. That's how we do. And we're going to talk today a little bit more about less about prospecting and more about your current client base, because the last thing you want to do during the holidays is forget your OGs, your original people who've been with you, your tried and trues, all of your existing clients. We don't want to let them down as we try to prospect for new people during the holidays. So let's talk about our clients and how to keep them during the holidays.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to preface though, Amanda, is that this should be all year round. You should have client, and not just about client satisfaction, but engagement with your client. You should have all of these points kind of systemized, or a lot of them. But during the holidays, you make it extra special. Extra special. Can't even talk because I'm so excited. But extra special because they are the ones who are paying your bills right now. That's how you're making your money. And we see this time and time again. People do not pay enough attention to their client. It's either in two buckets, I think, in two kind of things. Either they only pay attention to their clients and not client acquisition, or they only pay attention to client acquisition and don't pay attention to their clients. Wouldn't you say so, Amanda? It's mind-blowing.
Oh, absolutely. It is mind-blowing because you need both. You need your original people. You need that foundational money coming in, and you always constantly need to be prospecting because things change, people move, people change their minds. They grow out of the product that you're selling. Like you sell diapers and the kid grows up. Like there's always a season reason that people will move on. And you need to be prepared for that, obviously, but you don't want to neglect the money that's coming in. You don't want to bite the hand that feeds you.
Absolutely. Okay. So one of the first points that I would like to address is the communication aspect. We do not communicate necessarily with our clients enough, and probably not in the right ways. Now, feedback, like feedback forms and different check-in points is okay. But, when was the last time if you're B2B, business to business, you dropped in and had a conversation with your client? B2C, when was the last time you sent them a message just for the heck of it and said, hey, how are you doing? What's new? Effective communication, it should be regular. It should be transparent. It should be proactive on your behalf. You should not wait for the problem to happen for your client to come to you. You shouldn't be just communicating to your client when you're selling something or raising your prices. Like it should be an ongoing engagement that you can absolutely set up, and you can streamline some of it. But even I know, I used to keep specific notes on my high level clients, and I knew when their birthdays were, I knew what their favorite colors were, I knew what their behavioral style was, because that's the way I think. I knew different personal aspects to them, so that way I can just send them a random happy anniversary. Realtors, really good realtors, are great at this because they'll send them, oh, you've been in your home 1 year, or congratulations on your wedding that we see coming up. Like they stay engaged in their clients, kind of even in the peripherals, and then communicate with them long-term.
Absolutely. And this is like a little pro tip, depending on your client base. I like to put up a Google alert in my email particularly if it's a high profile client who's going to be in the media. So I absolutely put a Google alert anytime their name pops up anywhere in Google. I get notified. But even on things that really interest them, if it's an article about something that they are interested in, going the extra mile can really make them feel valued and taken care of. And it doesn't take much effort on my part to look up an article on something that interests them, or to give them feedback on the school their kids going to, or a vacation they were thinking about taking. Like there's lots of things I can put Google alerts on, but it's a really easy way for you to get notified of things that you might be able to pass on to clients. And I use it all the time. My poor inbox is just flooded with Google alerts of various things, but it's a really interesting hack you can use in order to find topics to engage with your clients. And it doesn't have to be hard to go the extra mile in that way. And when it comes down to really like retention, you don't want to really put all your eggs in one basket, but I like to look at my top 10% every quarter. Who are my top 10% earners or buyers or whatever? Like, who are those people? And how can I go the extra mile for them? If they're the top 10% spending or attending, depending on, or like frequenting business, it's not always about the top dollar, but maybe they came into my store 177 times in 200 days. Like those people, I want to keep an extra eye on because they are more likely to convert to other things when I do want to sell. And that's not the only reason I want to be nice to them. I'm not just being nice because I want to convert them. But
they're showing up for you. So why wouldn't you want to show up for them differently? Like, I think that they're
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just keeping your eye on some of those things. And it's obviously you want to do good things for all of your existing people. But if you have that top 10% as well, you might want to go just a little bit above for them as well. And that could just be something as simple as a personalized letter or a text on their birthday, or, taking them out to coffee if you're,
which you can pre-do. You send out cards a lot too.
Yeah,
I mean, there's other type of vendors that you can use besides that, but yeah.
There's so many things you can do that it's worth the effort and time. And I know I have heard before, probably from myself 15 years ago, that it's a lot. Like, oh, it's one more thing to do. It's one more thing to do. But this is a big thing because these are your people. These are the people who are feeding you. So you want to stay in the know with what's going on with them and go the extra mile for them. And I absolutely believe that's even more so during the holidays because it is such a sentimental time. And you can't always go above and beyond and like buy them all spa packages or take them to like, let's all go to a tropical island. Like we're not Oprah. Okay. We're not taking our team and our top people, or we're not doing Oprah's favorite things yet, where you get a car and you get a car. We're not doing that yet. And there are still things you can do to show people that you care and to show people that you're thinking about them. Even something as simple as a handwritten, not typed out, handwritten note,
that goes
personalized, goes a long, long way for something as simple that probably costs you, $2.50 in paper and postage. So maybe not now, postage is so high, but you get the idea that the point is go the extra mile. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be time consuming, but it does need to come from a place of genuinely appreciating what they have done for you to get you where you are.
Yeah. Speaking of appreciation, that whole expressing gratitude, you can also do like a special loyalty program. You can give a special discount, the personalized thank you notes and messages. Like I said, if it's B2B, back in the day, I used to love baking cookies, and like actually a bunch of my girlfriends who were in small businesses, we'd all get together and we'd bake a ton of cookies and then separate them all. So we would have everybody else's cookies and we create little cookie bins for our high level clients or maybe medium level clients, depending on, you have to go kind of with industry standard too. Like some type of industries are going to have a lot more clients than like realtors or contractors are not going to have as many. So how you do things might be slightly different. Your top 10% might turn into your top 50% or your top 1%. So you have to like determine that with your classification where you're at financially as well. But at the end of the day, all of these points are just really good at like building your client, because we didn't even cover this, and I know I'm jumping around, but having better clients isn't about more retention, but it's also they're your mouthpieces. They're going to be your biggest advocate. They can bring on more business. So not only are you hopefully increasing the longevity of their business with you, but you are also increasing the probability that they're going to bring in or be your mouthpiece for others. It helps make you more rooted. But yeah, showing appreciation. One of my favorites, and they did this, I know they do this kind of all over, but in Hawaii, it was really big and we were a smaller community, but they would do the best of West Hawaii, the best of Maui, the best of this. And so whenever my clients would get that and receive that, or even be nominated, I would make the majority of them buy postcards with a special thank you to say, you were a part of this. We appreciate you. So we're showing appreciation, but yet still edifying, what we've done. So that way they know that we're still relevant, or my client. But it still is saying, listen, it's because of you that I was nominated. It's because of you that I won, right? So you can show appreciation in many different ways, even just nowadays with the text or being friends on LinkedIn and sending them a message or a voice note over an email is always going to be better, right? So think of creative ways that you can continue to show appreciation while also building a relationship with them. So we didn't even go into that, but we've been covering different aspects of that. Now, again, classification dependent, also position dependent, and community dependent. Some people will build relationships more with their customers than others, but you need to have some kind of, you should have some kind of strong, at least trustworthy relationship with clients by showing genuine interest in them, but also another way, because a lot of things fall through the cracks, especially during the holiday season, is following through with your commitment. And even more so, make sure that you're being the proactive one about that, reminding them that their hair is due to be, highlighted, reminding them that, to not forget to change their batteries out of their smoke detectors, whatever it is. Be that person. You want to continue to build relationships.
Absolutely. And the relationship building, as we said before, it doesn't have to be huge, grand gestures. It can be very small, thoughtful things that I used to work for, I used to do some work with the Montage. So the Montage resorts. And I remember doing my orientation in the beginning. It's just like 25 years ago. So it's a long time ago. So I remember doing the orientation, and there was this whole hours-long orientation on the wow factor. And what they used to do at the Montage is they wanted you to learn people's pictures. So you had to, you got you got a portfolio of every high-end client that was coming in. And there were a lot of high-end clients at the Montage in Hawaii. So all the pictures, you have to learn their names. You have to learn everything about them. It was like a CIA dossier. I had to learn, how many kids they had, where did their kids go to school, what time zones were their kids in. We had to learn everything. And I thought it was super intrusive. I'm like, this is really creepy. That's what I thought. And it was, to be honest, it was a bit creepy. However, the whole point, their whole platform that they stand on was, they want you to wow people with the tiny details that you pull up. And so they would give you these scenarios where it's like, okay, Susie Q is coming into the hotel. What can you do to make her feel special the second she arrives? And I'm like, okay, Susie Q has 3 kids who are in 3 different time zones in college, and she's going to be here for a month. I'm going to put 3 separate clocks in the room with each of her kids' names on it, so she knows exactly what time she can call her kids. And I'm going to put her favorite flower. She really likes the gardenia. So we'll put everything. And you make sure that room is set. So when they arrive, they know that you know them. And yes, it's a little bit creepy, but they also really appreciate it. And not every touch is super creepy. Not every touch is like, I know where your family lives. But just being able to say hi, Susie, can I get you? I mean, I know your favorite drink is a mojito. Would you like one? Right now, I have an order for you. You just got here, or having that drink ready when they arrive at the hotel because it's their favorite. Those kinds of things, they notice, choosing the lavender soap in their bathroom instead of the plumeria or whatever. So those kinds of small things, getting to know your client makes a huge, very Hawaii, However, getting to know those small things made a huge difference. And people came back and they raved about the service because every single employee in that hotel knew the name of every single person who came in. Was it a lot of studying for what I had to do? Yeah, I was back in college then. It was like more studying than I ever wanted to do for a job. But let me tell you, the tips were better. The engagement was better. Those clients were incessantly repeat customers. And those kinds of tiny touches, I have felt that training for the rest of my life when it comes to dealing with and creating relationships with my clients. So, I hated it back then because I felt so creepy knowing everything about everybody. And it changed the way I thought about customer service to this day. And like I said, that was like in the early 2000s. Maybe even the 1900s. Oh my God.
Right.
Maybe even the 1900s. A long time ago.
That's hilarious. Absolutely though, people want to be seen and heard, even if they're super independent, even if they're super wealthy, even if they're not. Like, it is a human basic need to want to be seen and heard and to feel a value. And especially when somebody is paying you for products and services, they want to feel it even more. And so those little touches, like I said, I used to keep little notes on all my clients too, and on their folder, because I used to have
on the Rolodex.
No, I had the old school filing system because, with the alarm company and stuff, but I did have a Rolodex too.
I had a Rolodex.
That was for my business cards. But I would have like all what they liked. I even had allergies because I have a specific allergy. So I had allergies. Like, if I was going to deliver cookies to this person and somebody in their house is allergic to nuts, I'm not delivering them cookies. I'm going to go buy them chocolate. So it's not on me, or do something else. So absolutely, especially during the holidays. Because even if people are bah humbug and not into holidays, with all of the holiday spirit around, it can increase them to be even more bah humbug, or, it's really nostalgic. So that's another thing, like with keeping clients happy, especially during the holiday season. We talk about this in other podcasts. It's like building on that nostalgia will absolutely help you engage with them in a different way. But essentially, at the end of the day, you want to keep your clients happy by proactive communication, building relationships, showing appreciation, personalized service that feels personalized. It doesn't have to necessarily be personalized. It just should feel personalized, and being ahead, constantly delivering your value and above within reason, because we train others how to treat us. We don't want you to under promise, over deliver all the time, but you definitely want to do it in a way that you're being proactive in your client engagement and keeping them happy with client satisfaction. Client satisfaction is such a burnt out type of term that is so much more. It's more about client engagement. It's more about the client journey versus client satisfaction. You definitely want them to be satisfied, but you want them to be engaged and happy.
Yes, be engaged. And honestly, I'll take engaged over happy any day, because you can't always control happiness, but you can control engagement. So you can control how many times you're emailing them, how many times you're reaching out, the types of emails you're sending. Even if one thing I love to do during the holidays, depending on the type of business you have, if you have lower end products or services or digital products, I like to give gifts of my own services to other people. So it's, for example, I own a fitness business. So one of the things I love to give is like, oh, here's 5 free classes that you can give out as gifts at your office. So taking care of their shopping list with things that they didn't have to pay for that technically benefit you, super bonus. If they never use them, all it cost was the printing. But if they use them, you might have an opportunity to have 5 or 6 or 10 or 100 new prospects coming in that already have a glowing recommendation that someone's going to talk about. Don't be afraid to reach out in creative ways and to really capitalize on those connections and relationships that you have built, because ideally you're nurturing them over the whole year. So by the time the holiday season comes up, they are stoked to have that from you, and they're wanting to share that.
Yeah. I mean, the building relationship, and I know we talk a lot about this, but I love that idea. And I know you kind of said it from 2 points, but I do want to emphasize, you can not only just give your own products and service, but you can give your clients products and services, or purchase from them to be able to give away.
Absolutely.
Right? So instead of, we love Starbucks for the nostalgia part, but instead of purchasing from your local Starbucks, purchase from a local vendor who is your client instead, right? And so you're building relationships in different ways. And it to me, and I'm sure you agree, Amanda, just during the holiday season, all these little nuances and nuggets go a bit further, or can go a bit further. And they can also
Absolutely
break it.
Yeah, they can make or break you, just like anything else in your business, it can make or break you. But yeah, absolutely. I had a client who owned a massage school, and I used to buy massages for all of my clients from my client who sold massages. So, I mean, keeping it in the family is what I used to call it. So just keep it all in the family. Let's keep it in the Ohana. Let's keep it together. I mean, it worked like gangbusters. Like there was a lot of, I mean, not only from a building relation standpoint, but also from a cross promotion, later becoming strategic partners in that way. So there's a lot of ways you can create those connections and build upon them that are strategic, not just good natured and wonderful and making you a good person, but also strategic, because I had to say it. It's not always good hearted.
I love that it's not.
I mean,
I feel like, like pretty much with every topic that we speak about, we know we can keep going on and on, but these are just some of the nuggets to help you keep your clients happy throughout the holidays. But it's absolutely, some of these can be streamlined and like Amanda said, alerts put on, different things can be done. So that way throughout the whole year, you have some kind of client engagement. You're always looking at from a proactive stance in a, how can I see, how can I hear them, right? Active listening, being proactive with the problem solving, if there is problem solving, et cetera, et cetera. So that way your clients will stay longer and be happier and absolutely be your word of mouth or your mouthpieces on the street passing you business. So we hope you got a bunch of nuggets out of this particular podcast.
And I have one more that just occurred to me. I know we could talk about.
I have a couple too, but I was like,
I have a million. I know. I'm just going to say this one because it's not all about Christmas. If you know your client or your person does not celebrate Christmas or celebrates Festivus or whatever, take that into consideration too, because that also, I mean, you might send out your holiday whatever promotion, but if you know they're celebrating something else on a specific day, it goes a long way to really send them something individual to their particular beliefs as well.
100%. And if they don't believe in the holidays at all or anything, actually, we're doing a poll right now and somebody responded, none of the holidays are my favorite. And I was like, well, which one is your favorite? And he's like, I don't have a favorite. They're all over commercialized. And so my response to him was absolutely, like, I get you. And so if he was a client of mine, what I would send him would be very different than the clients who do celebrate during the holiday season. So again, it's just a bit more stressful, even if they don't celebrate during this end of the year, even, and the hustle and bustle. Like, it does change people. People get out of their minds, man. Like, it is insane. And that does affect others. So I love that last point, Amanda. Absolutely. And how you know this is because you keep notes on your clients. You have communication and you've built a relationship with them. So yeah. All right. So until next time,
get after it.
All right, everyone. It's not enough to just listen.
Now you've got to put it into action.
We are so excited to see what you do next.
If you enjoyed our show, please leave us a review on iTunes.
And to find out more about what we're doing, visit us at thepursuitofbadasserie.com.